So I'm currently watching the new Tyler Perry movie on Netflix, Mea Culpa. Mea Culpa. One of my goals for this year is to watch more movies at home because I hate watching new movies at home. And there were a lot of movies that I missed out on last year that go direct to streaming because I can't sit still and focus at home. I'd rather go to the theater. So I'm trying to get better at it. And I heard about this movie being on Netflix, so I decided, hey, why not? It's Tyler Perry. This should be easy. Okay, so I had to take a little break to explain Dune Part 1 to my best friend. You know, the blind leading the blind and all that jazz. Now we back to it. I have so many regrets right now. Alright, so I'm immediately regretting my decision to watch that and then talk about it on the internet, but here we go. So that was the Tyler Perry movie, his latest one. It actually released on Netflix on the 23rd, so last Friday. And it's Mea Culpa or Mea Culpa, because it's about a girl named Mia, and it's a legal thriller. Stars Kelly Rowland and Trevante Rhodes. Kelly Rowland, we obviously know from Destiny's Child. Trevante Rhodes, however, he was in the Best Picture winner Moonlight, and he was also in Bird Box. Quick disclaimer, if you are a Tyler Perry stan and you get easily triggered and rattled by anyone saying anything negative about Tyler Perry, scroll. There's no way this was a serious project. This had to be for a check, but I can't imagine what check. A check from Netflix? He owns the studio. He's the producer, writer, and director. So any money that this movie makes, in a sense, 90% of it, I would say, probably goes back to him. I miss the days when these streaming platforms were just archives and they weren't trying to compete with big studios to create original content, because this original content that they're creating, we're funding it. And you're telling me my $15.99 a month paid for that? They ought to prorate me for my time. Anyone that tells you this movie was good is either lying to you or they just never watched a movie before, so they don't know any better. But no, that was not good. Mia is a defense attorney. Mia, played by Kelly Rowland. She's having marital problems. Her husband is unemployed, and she is carrying the family. She has issues with her brother-in-law and her mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law does not like her, openly disrespects her in front of the husband who does not defend her. That would bother me. The brother-in-law is an ADA. He is prosecuting a case, an artist who is accused of unaliving his girlfriend. So happens Mia is going to be representing said artist. This artist, played by Trevante Rhodes, his name is Zaire Malloy. He's a bit of a womanizer. I guess he's supposed to be, seductive, or I don't. Now, I went to Twitter/X to see what other people were perceiving with this movie, and I saw some people say, well, it's an erotic thriller. No, it's not. It is a thriller, though. At least that's what Wikipedia says. I must have missed the thriller part in the 2 hours I was watching this. This was just all around bad writing, bad acting, a nonsensical story. There were some plot holes, things that didn't quite make sense. And I know someone's gonna say, well, yeah, it's Tyler Perry. No, this was even bad for him. Like, this was just really bad. It was lazy. Now, here's the part that's unfortunate, though. So this movie had a New York premiere on February the 15th, and it premiered on Netflix on February the 23rd, so 5 days in. I went to Rotten Tomatoes. There are only 14 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm not talking about the content or the context of the reviews, although one reviewer said Kelly Rowland and Trevante Rhodes have so much chemistry. Yeah, about as much chemistry as a flat soda. I'm talking about the quantity of reviews. 14, 5 days in, 14 reviews. Now compare that to Dune Part 2. I'm not comparing the two movies. I'm not comparing the quality of the reviews, just the quantity. Compare that to Dune Part 2, which is exclusively releasing in theaters, isn't even out yet. What I saw was a special event. Movie's not even out yet, and there are 168 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Warner Brothers, being the distributor for Dune, makes their movies accessible to critics, screens it for critics. Tyler Perry hasn't screened his movies for critics in years. So if critics want to review his movies, they have to wait until the movie comes out and either pay for a ticket themselves, watch it on Netflix, or more than likely someone like Netflix will make it so that critics who work for either a news organization or a critics association can access it for free. The fact that there are only 14 reviews for this movie that's on Netflix, easily accessible, tells me that critics just aren't interested in his movies at all. Why do I review movies? Number one, I love film analysis in general. And number two, I understand that reviewing movies, analyzing them, it betters the industry. There is no bettering Tyler Perry through criticism. Tyler Perry is more interested in growing as a businessman than growing as an artist. And why would he need to? He has a built-in audience that's going to put up with whatever he puts down. And movies like this show me that he really hasn't changed the way he views his audience. He treats his audience like they're infants, just kind of force feeding them things. Like, here's our protagonist. Okay, this is the antagonist. This is who we're not supposed to like. Oh, no. I don't want you to feel any kind of sympathy or, any compassion for this person. So I'm going to make them extra sinister, unrealistically sinister, so that you understand that this is the person I do not want you to like. No, I don't want you to, figure it out on your own. 2005, that's when Diary of a Mad Black Woman released. 20 years, and he still can't write worth a damn. He still struggles to create three-dimensional characters. He has the time, the money, and the space to do better, but why would he? For what reason? Why would he do better when his target audience of women, mostly, will settle for mediocre? Speaking of target audience, I'm watching this movie and I'm thinking, who is this for? And then I remember, well, yeah, this is for his built-in audience who will watch whatever he puts out. But seriously, looking at this movie, this is a legal thriller, some would say even an erotic thriller, and I'm watching this. Who is this for? The main man in this movie is about as tempting as mild hot sauce. This was written by someone who doesn't know the first thing about women or female sexuality in general. It's not that complicated, but it's definitely not this simple. This was actually the first Tyler Perry movie I've seen in quite a while, and yeah, that was terrible, even for him.